There's so much drama going on right now. Hey, what is up all my social climbing friends? It's Dustin and I'm back with another video. Now, I made a video about Ethan the other day as well as Dan and all these different people that are on the H3 podcast, and I voiced some concerns, my opinions on what was going on, and I did get some things wrong, and I want to address that really quickly before I jump into this video. Apparently the person that was saying all the things that I took issue with was not AB, it was Dan, so for that I apologize. And I want to talk a little bit about Dan later in this video about how he reacted and what he said and how he apologized, and what I think about it now, as well as Ethan and everything that has happened since then, because there has been some more things that happened yesterday while they were live. So now I'm glad that I waited to actually film this video. So let's just jump right in. So I'm gonna call this Ethan's non-apology because in my opinion, I don't feel like they apologized all the way. I do think that there was some kind of apology there, but I don't think that it was like a really great apology. That's just my personal opinion. But Ethan started out addressing Keemstar. I don't really even know why Keemstar is really relevant to Ethan in this situation, because we know that Ethan and Keemstar are gonna go back and forth and that Keemstar is gonna try to get in at Ethan no matter how he can. I don't even know why Ethan gave Keemstar the time of day to address him in what was supposed to be an apology to the LGBTQIA people. Just because Keemstar was heckling him and saying all these different things on Twitter, he really didn't even have to address him. It wasn't pertinent to anything that was really going on. We know that these two are gonna argue until the end of time. It's literally always gonna be that way. They're sworn enemies of one another. Around 11 minutes into this live stream where they were apologizing, Ethan admits that he was insensitive to the caller Matt, but then he doubles down and defends Dan and says that he's not homophobic and that Dan's a good man, that he's not gonna let people malign Dan, and that he's gonna fucking stand up.
I have to defend, first of all, a lot of people have been calling Dan a horrible homophobe, and that's just outrageous. Anyone who watches the show knows that Dan's a good man, and I'm not going to stand by and let people malign Dan like that. That's just fucking. I got to stand up for my boy here.
So he's gonna get mad at the LGBTQIA people when they called him out on something that bothered them, and he's gonna get mad that people are requesting that he addresses this further than just a tweet. Make that make sense. If someone made fun of Ethan's Tourette's, he would be wanting people to address it. He would be upset by it, because if I remember correctly, he got very upset with Trisha, and I don't know if he did that for people to give him sympathy or whatever, but we know that if it was something that was personal to Ethan, he would be wanting people to apologize and address what he done. Dan ends up saying that he pretty much deleted his Twitter because he didn't want to do the back and forth. Now, I did tag Dan and some shit on Twitter, and I did believe that the things that he was saying was homophobic. Just because you say homophobic things does not automatically make you a homophobe. It's the culmination of all the things that you've said that somebody could class you as a homophobe with. That's my opinion. That's how I look at things. You can do homophobic things and not be a homophobe because you may not be aware, but these two, in my opinion, they knew what they were doing. I'm not saying that they're necessarily all the way homophobic and that they're homophobes all the time, but there was definitely some undertones there in my opinion. Neither Dan nor Ethan, in my opinion, took full accountability. It just seems like they kept trying to like push the goalpost and try to justify the things that they were doing and saying, when in reality all they had to do was say that they were sorry and that it wouldn't happen again. Although we know the history with Ethan, this probably will happen again, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute why. There was even a point in time in this video when Ethan compared being held accountable to being an abused stepson. I don't really understand where that analogy came from or why he feels that way. If he feels like he's being the abused stepson from his own followers, because we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well, then it's probably something that he's done when he cultivated his audience and made them feel comfortable doing this to him while he's doing it to other people, because everything that's happening to Ethan now, he has done to other people. Ethan jokes an awful lot about being canceled. He even said, we've got to understand that it's intense when people turn something they say into evidence that they're intolerant pieces of shit. Literally, if you get on the internet and you type in H3 racist, H3 homophobe, any of the phobes or isms, you can find video footage of Ethan Klein doing that over time. It's not just something that happened last week. It's not just something that happened last month. There is a pattern and a history here with Ethan Klein. I'm not gonna put it all in this video because there's not enough time in the day for me to go and find all the clips, but they're out there if you search for them. And Ethan gets mad when people bring it up and people defend him and say that he's changed, when in reality, if he's changed, we wouldn't be here where we are right now. Now, Dan and Ethan both say that they're sick of woke culture, but they both contributed to it. I don't understand why you could be sick of something that you've added to, so there's that. Now, around 15 minutes into this live stream, Ethan says that he totally understands Dan's reaction to saying shut the fuck up and unsubscribe.
I just want to be fair to Dan because I'm going to say things that I don't think he'll say for himself. Every week, we get fucking canceled and called out for something that we're not good enough for. We're not woke enough. Be better. It's always be better, do better. I feel like an abused fucking stepson sometimes, you know, trying to navigate this space. It's like every week, be better. You got to do better. You got to be better. I'm doing my best here, guys. Like, y'all can't. I'm getting like woke whiplash, and it's like last week, or with the Will Smith thing, or there was people like, well, sometimes the people take it too far, but this time it's right. This time it's serious, or last time is fucking serious. And it's like, you guys got to fucking like understand how intense it feels on this side when every week people are turning something we said into evidence that we are intolerant pieces of shit, you know? Or it's always like, oh, the veil is down. I always knew they were racist, homophobes. Oh, we can't pretend now to be woke and all this shit. And Dan is fucking sick of that shit. And understandably, and we all are. So his snap judgment is like, you know, fuck you guys, just shut up. And, you know, people are calling me homophobic. Dan knows I'm not homophobic. Okay, he's standing up for me, which he's being a good friend and a supporter. So, you know, so I totally understand Dan's reaction to say, you know, just shut the fuck up and unsubscribe, which, you know, obviously he was heated at the moment. But
too heated.
Too heated, okay. But understandably, you know, it's not. Sometimes it just doesn't feel reasonable.
Now, I really don't understand why he would say this, because these are paying members of his channel that have been leaving him. And today, well, yesterday now, they went live and Ethan basically said that he lost all of his sponsors behind this, and he said that basically this is what keeps his channel bulletproof and allows him to talk the way he wants to talk and do the things that he wants to do. So which is it? Do you want people to unsubscribe and not be members of your channel, or do you want them to stay and enable you? Like, I don't understand what you want from this, Ethan. A lot of what you say doesn't make a lot of sense. What I really didn't like about this whole live stream and how they address this is they both try to pretty much victimize themselves, and they say that it's so hard, and people say that they aren't good enough. Well, if you're not good enough, quit trying to act like you're good enough, or that you're of some kind of moral superiority because you call people out all the fucking time. When people call you out, it's because they're keeping you accountable for the way that you handle others and the things that you do as well. It's not that hard. I couldn't tell you the amount of videos that have been made about me. Now, around 17 minutes, Dan says that he realizes that what happened wasn't good, and he's glad that Ethan realizes that as well. I'm glad that they're self-aware enough to realize that what they did was not good, but the apology was very lackluster in my opinion. And if we go back through everything in the original video that I posted, I said that I wasn't really offended by too much. The only thing that I really got offended by was the way that Ethan was pressing Matt. I did not like that at all, and I did not like that Dan was mocking what I know to be a stereotypical gay person's voice. Now, they tried to like blur the lines on this because they said it was like 2 hours later that it could not possibly be Dan mocking Matt's voice. Well, when he was telling people to shut the fuck up and unsubscribe, he did do this voice, and it was like, oh my god. You know what I'm talking about, and if I can find the clip, I'll put it in right here.
And then I was like, you know what, this whole Twitter thing is that I, at one point during the show, was mocking the caller's lisp. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That did not happen.
That did not happen.
Up.
Someone says, I don't know what's up.
So disappointing.
Someone said,
Grow up.
And if you're saying that happened, you are either dumb or just being disingenuous.
Up.
Someone says, I don't know what's up.
So disappointing.
Someone said,
Grow up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What I also did not like is the fact that Ethan backed Dan up on this, and he said, if you're saying this happened, you're either dumb or disingenuous. This totally happened. Now I'm gonna have to go back and find the clip. I'll put it in again here for you to hear. He did mock a stereotypical gay person's voice. He did do that. That is a thing that fucking happened.
So disappointing. So disappointing. So disappointing.
But here's the problem that I had with Dan apologizing for this. I don't think that he meant it to be bad, but it was bad. Dan said if it comes across that way, and we thought that that's what he was doing, that wasn't his intent. Your intent does not matter. Intention does not matter. What matters is that you offended a whole group of people. So this live stream goes on, and Ethan says that he always asks people uncomfortable questions. Well, my question to Ethan is, how would he like it if Ela was on a live stream with like 50,000 people watching, and somebody like me asked Ela if she like getting f***ed in her ass? Would he like that? I don't think he would like that very much. I don't think that he would like people asking his wife intimate details about how she has sex with her partner. I just don't think that Ethan would like that at all. And then Dan chimes in and he says what Ethan does is push his boundaries. No, what Ethan did was basically borderline sexual harassment. You don't continue to press people about things that they're not comfortable talking about in a sexual setting on a live stream to like 50,000 people. You don't do that. That is sexual harassment. Now, Ethan goes on and he does dissect what Kat Timbarge said. She did say that Ethan contributed to horrific things about the gay community. I am actually part of the gay community. I don't think what he did was feed into any kind of like bad stereotypes. I don't think it was good. I don't think it's gonna help us as gay people or trans people or any of the people in the LGBTQIA, but I don't think anything he did was too horrific to us as a whole. I think what he did to Matt was horrific, and I did not like that shit at all. Now, Ethan does go on to say that he completely refutes anything that Kat says, that he and Dan are not homophobes, they're not homophobic. And that just goes back to what I said earlier. You can do homophobic things without being a homophobe. It happens. But here's the thing, Ethan. When somebody in a minority group labels you something, you don't just get to say you're not that and then you don't get to be that anymore. That is not for you to decide. Somebody did tweet out something and it was pretty smart and I liked it. Someone said, I believe that ally is a verb. It's not something that you can designate yourself. And I believe that. I think that that's totally accurate. I retweeted it. I love that. But there was something else that Kat put in her tweet because she pretty much said that Ethan recruits gay people to watch him, and Ethan said, I don't do that. How do I do that? I'll tell you how he does that. By way of Adam McIntyre. Now, I'm not like best friends with Adam McIntyre or truly really even don't care that much about Adam McIntyre, but what I do know about Adam McIntyre is he has promoted and supported H3 for a very long time. You always see him with Teddy Fresh. I know his mom has been sent Teddy Fresh. I know that Ethan and Hila also sent Adam McIntyre a hoodie from Teddy Fresh. So that is how you recruit people, Ethan. That is how you make people feel comfortable that are gay, that watch you. You've been very, very friendly with someone that's gay, that watches you openly and supports you, so there's that. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I did go back and I did watch a few different things about Ethan as well as James Charles and podcasts and live streams that they've had about James Charles. And in the live stream titled, It's Time to Stop James Charles, Ethan mocks the way that James Charles talks. You guys, check this out.
TikTok is not
Literally
going
on
anymore.
screen for a half a second.
I guess it's
Not
on
even.
beat though. It's on beat. It's pretty dope the way he did it on beat, but I can't
I
fucking
see.
actually read it. So sick.
Yeah, really sad.
I'm really sad. Okay, I'm gonna preempt this.
But what's so funny about this to me is around 17 minutes into this live stream, Ethan also says that he doesn't want to mock James Charles's voice with a stereotypical gay voice when he did that 10 minutes before that. Make that make sense.
Apparently, he posted a picture of their conversation on his Instagram story, and then James flips on him. What the fuck is your problem? What the fuck is your? Let me. What the? Hi, sister. I'm trying to get the James. What the fuck is your problem?
What the fuck is your
What
problem?
the frick?
What the
Hi,
frick?
sister.
What the fuck is your problem?
It's just.
It's really hard.
It's so hard because I don't want to just make a stereotypical gay.
I mean, that's how he talks, though.
I know it's troubling.
And then just like a few minutes later, Ethan mocks him anyway. And before any of the H3 fans try to come for me, I'm not trying to defend James. I'm just trying to point out here that Ethan can critique James without actually mocking his voice. You can call him out, but you don't have to make fun of his mannerisms because that is something that a lot of the people in the gay community specifically have dealt with our entire lives. Thank you. But jumping back to this whole apology that happened the other day, I just felt like the last bit was pertinent. Ethan says something that I find very weird and very strange. He says that if him and Dan are not good enough for you, if you don't think that they're on your team, then you have no allies. Now, I'm not personally in a war with anyone. I don't really need an ally in that sense, but there are people out here that do look for people that are allies to help them. And for you to say that they don't have any allies just because you're not on their team or they don't want you on their team, then that's a problem, because it goes back to what I was saying before. If you don't understand that you cannot unlabel yourself something that you've been labeled by a minority group, then something's not clicking in your brain. Then there was just a little bit more bitching from Ethan and him pretty much saying that he feels like he's not good enough and no matter what he does, he's never going to satisfy people. And you're never ever going to satisfy people when you keep moving the bar, Ethan. It's always something different. There's never any kind of standard for you. You always go after people, and then when people come after you, you want to get upset. But what I really didn't like is this whole don't say gay build thing that they put into here. Like, I think that it's great that they're bringing attention to that, but I feel like it was also them trying to deflect from what they did. And it seemed like they were trying to be like, this is so much worse. Like, look how these people are doing and what's portrayed in the media about gay people. I did not really like that at all. That is not my tea. That is not my bag. And I really did not appreciate them putting that in there in an apology video. If they wanted to dedicate something totally separate to that, I would have been perfectly okay with that. That would have been fine with me. And overall, I mean, honestly, I really just felt for Matt, and I felt personally offended by the way that the mocking of the voice happened. I did not like that shit at all. That bothered the fuck out of me. But that brings me to what I want to talk about today really quickly. So Ethan's saying that he lost all of his sponsors, and if he lost all of his sponsors, they probably felt some kind of way about the way he handled things. Now in the past, I know that Ethan has called for people to like remove sponsorships from Keemstar and all these different people. So I don't really understand why Ethan is upset when this is happening to him. And then he goes on to say that it's his own fans that have done this. Your fans are not going to do that to you. This is people that do not like you. So for you to sit here and try to act as if it's your own fans doing this to you, that's just stupid. And if it is your fans and you've built this like community around holding people accountable, they're just holding you accountable, Ethan. So I mean, make up your mind, dude. Now a lot of people are also mad because a couple weeks ago the whole Will Smith thing happened, and then Ethan addressed it and pretty much accused Will Smith of being abusive at home. But then yesterday on a live stream, Donna smacked Ethan's dad on top of the head, and then like a couple minutes later, Ethan's dad on the live stream swatted at Donna's hand.
Gary.
Dang it, Gary.
All right, go ahead, Mom. I'm not a kid anymore, Dad. You listen to me now.
Damn.
I'm calm. Get your hands off me.
Oh my God.
Goodness, you guys, you're on a show right now. You know that, right?
And a lot of people are now like, oh, we understand why Ethan does this behavior is because he saw it at home. Now, I don't think that that's too far of a stretch, to be honest. I don't really want to talk too much about that, but I just think that they're two older people. I don't think that they probably have the healthiest relationship. Do I think they're abusing one another? No. Do I think that they probably swat at one another and tell one another that they get on each other's nerves? Probably so, just like older people do. My parents do that. They're in their 80s. Is it necessarily acceptable? No, it shouldn't be. But I don't think that they're out here body slamming people. But you guys, please let me know your thoughts and opinions on all this down below. I know it was a lot. I know a lot of people have a lot of varying opinions about this. I just wish that Ethan and Dan would have just left out the ifs, ands, or buts about their apology and just apologized and moved on. They didn't have to add to it. It could have just been what it was, and I would have been happy with that. And honestly, like, I don't have a dog in this race. It doesn't matter to me if Ethan loses subscribers or if he loses sponsors because I don't watch him like that. And to be honest, I feel like Dan was a little bit more remorseful than Ethan was. I don't know how, that's just what it feels like to me, but they both gave really shitty apologies. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I hope you all have an amazing evening, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.